Welcome to Boss Battle Round 16. Yeah, should definitely be a very good one, effectively. So I'm really looking forward to it. What about you, Kat?
I, to the audience, I'm just back from a convention, so I'm very low on energy.
Oh, I'll need to be twice as energetic. Yay. Definitely. But yeah, I've been having a good weekend as well. Just been playing some games, eating tons of leftovers and just enjoying the sunshine a little bit myself here. And yeah, well, considering all of that, the battle that we have tonight is between King Dodongo and Dark King Dodongo. And yeah, I think this is a lot more interesting than I first thought about it. So I'm really happy to see this matchup. Um, yeah, what do you think about the matchup before we go into stats?
Well, like you said, those that have seen the previous episodes might have a certain estimation how this is gonna go, but there are some factors that will make a difference.
Yes, there definitely are. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. King Dodongo, Health B, Power B, Intelligence D, Mobility C, Fire Breath A, Roll B. I mean, King Dodongo has some good stats here. Intelligence D is lacking a bit. Special abilities are quite good. King Dodongo has had a few issues with some other bosses, is what I'd say. So I'm just trying to see how things will be in the future and in this matchup for him. What do you think?
Yeah, King Dodongo suffers from the fact that their stats are like okay, the abilities are great, but the competition is rough. Competition is very rough.
Yeah, definitely on that one. And then we have got, well, Dark King Dodongo, health question mark, power question mark, intelligence F, mobility question mark. Special abilities, Doppelganger is equal on most stats, and Darkness Affinity B. So, well, Dark King Dodongo will be able to do everything that King Dodongo does, with, of course, that Darkness Affinity, but again, Dark King Dodongo will have that low intelligence, so yeah, just thinking it all through in my head. I mean, is there anything more to say about Dark King Dodongo?
Well, our doppelganger has been a like very much looked forward combatant like before the beginning of the series, but after people have come to terms and understood it better, we have clashed into certain issues, and hopefully today we won't see those.
Hmm. Well, we will see what will be happening here. So, again, King Dodongo versus Dark King Dodongo. We'll need to work out the battlefield. So, are we happy with it going half King Dodongo's world and, well, in all fairness, half should technically be a mirror version of King Dodongo's world, but as the water temple effectively? Are we happy with that?
Yes.
Yes. So that's how the world itself will be. Now, we've got to decide before the battle what the result effectively is. Um, but also on all of this, who wants to be King Dodongo for this?
Hmm. I would say that it really should be you, without
Okay.
mentioning why.
Okay, I will be King Dodongo in this, and you will be Dark King Dodongo then. Cat? Yeah. So on that, we'll decide now in the decision booth. what it will be. I will say my opinion on this, and we will just make sure that we come to a decision. So I have written my personal decision on this one. Are you in
And
agreement?
I agree.
Yes, okay. So we do agree on that one. So the fight will effectively begin. So the fight begins, you know, King Dodongo sees that the other half of the arena is not as it once was, is some form of mirror of the boss room, effectively. So King Dodongo, having the high intelligence here, we've determined before, King Dodongo will have the first action. So, King Dodongo sees this enemy Dodongo on the other side, considers that it's a threat to ruling over Dodongo's cavern, and will decide, well, to start the fire breath process effectively. So to start inhaling. So, and then it goes to you.
Well, now we come to a funny thing. If Dodongo's first instinct would be the fire breath, then so would the doppelgangers.
Okay. So, okay. So, because of that, well, one thing I would say actually, I've just been thinking of range. But assuming King Dodongo is in range of Dark King Dodongo, this is how it would start. So we'll get rid of this range problem if that's okay, Cat, because I forgot about that.
Well, the attack, we have never seen the maximum length of that attack, so I would assume that it would go a very, very far away if there's nothing
Yeah,
stopping it.
you have a point on that one. So King Dodongo is aiming at however King Dodongo can aim it at Dark King Dodongo. And Dark King Dodongo is doing the same thing. And now King Dodongo breathes out a breath of, well, the fire breath directly at Dark King Dodongo. I'd assume Dark King Dodongo does the same thing.
Indeed, but with a little spice of darkness.
So, King Dodongo is keeping on sort of breathing out this fire, and there is this beam clash, technically a beam clash, like in Dragon Ball, between King Dodongo and Dark King Dodongo. And King Dodongo is like, whilst Dark King Dodongo on the other end is, well, you can express what Dark King Dodongo is doing.
I would rather avoid doing the wheezing sounds myself now due to the
Oh,
the
whoops.
tiredness.
No worries, but Dark King Dodongo is doing the same, but I'll give it back to you. Do you want to explain what this little spice Dark King Dodongo has?
Yes. So, since our doppelganger has the darkness affinity, it has been seen in, well, most of the outside media of the game, since that's the only occasion when we have
Yeah.
actually seen the doppelganger take other shapes. We know that every magic attack, in essence, or elemental attack that the doppelganger would do, would also have a bit of that darkness in it. So the fireball would have some darkness energy in it as well.
Yeah. Yes. So effectively, and this is the way that we've ruled this effectively. The darkness fire breath would be stronger than the fire breath itself. So basically, in this situation, King Dodongo would take a hit, and this would be minor damage for King Dodongo, effectively. And I would say that King Dodongo on minor damage on this hit would just start rolling towards Dark King Dodongo. So it's on you now, Cat. But yeah.
Instinct follows instinct. It's a rollback.
Okay, so there are a few scrapes. Both combatants get some damage. And then they just look one another in the eyes. I guess. King Dodongo is going to charge up Flame Breath.
And the doppelganger would follow in suit.
And then King Dodongo would be, well, there would be a Fire Breath tussle, and as we said before, Dark King Dodongo would actually win that tussle, and that means that King Dodongo would be on major damage at this point. And considering that Dark King Dodongo is on very minor damage, King Dodongo is on major damage, we need to say right here, right now, and do you want to say it?
I'll leave the honor to you.
The winner in this battle is Dark King Dodongo. And it's all due to that darkness affinity. It's all due to that. And, well,
It's finally played a part.
yes, exactly. So, I mean, we've had situations where, you know, for instance, with something like Morpher, or something effectively, well, Morpher specifically. Oh, sorry, I might be saying too much. But I might as well say it this way because I've already said it, basically. But basically, you know, the darkness affinity has been on top of things, but it hasn't worked out as it's worked out in this one. In this one specifically, that darkness affinity charged up Dark King Dodongo's fire and just meant that, just gave Dark King Dodongo the edge on this, effectively. And, yeah. Specifically also to do with the intelligence, King Dodongo couldn't use any of his abilities in order to defeat or maim Dark King Dodongo because King Dodongo didn't know what to do. And considering King Dodongo didn't know what to do, Dark King Dodongo would just mimic that action anyways because with a low intelligence, there's no specific way that you could be, you know, intelligent but evil in that sense, really. So yeah, that's sort of my thoughts on it with regards to it, and that's what we came up to a decision on in this one. I mean, is there anything more you want to say, like, on this stage of things, Kat, before we go into another breakdown of the stats?
Yeah. So, if you want a good analog for this fight, imagine that you have a pet lizard in essence, and you put a mirror in front of this lizard. Their instinct would be to attack the mirror, and quote unquote the mirror would attack back exactly the same way. That was mainly this fight, but now imagine that the lizard on the other side of the mirror actually has dark powers.
Yep, that's basically it here. And just going into stats again. So, again, said it once, I'll say it again. King Dodongo's abilities were mirrored by Dark King Dodongo's. That intelligence D, that really meant that King Dodongo had no choice but to do the most basic of actions. And therefore King Dodongo had no plays that he could effectively do. So, yeah, do you want to say about that, Cat?
Yeah, like in the mirror analog, Kinder Dongo isn't very smart of a fellow. He's strong. He's strong. Let's just leave it at that.
He's strong. He's
And
strong.
of course, the dog one would copy the intelligence, but the intelligence lacking the personality and smarts behind it, it would be just an exact copy.
Yeah. So again, Dark King Dodongo has all of this, but the Darkness Affinity B, and we talked about that. Yeah. Uh, anything more you want to say about Darkness Affinity B? We've talked about this, but I might as well go through it step by step now.
Yeah. So Darkness Affinity B is a strong ability, especially since most of the combatants in this series are lacking anything to fight
Mm,
against that.
yeah.
I will not spoil. There are some characters that have some ability to fight against it, but most
Mm,
don't.
yeah. So, yeah. Okay then. Well, here's our winner, Dark King Dodongo. Um, and yeah, this is boss battle round 16. Just putting it on here, our winner is Dark King Dodongo. So that's absolutely amazing. And yeah, well, so for the boss battle itself, going to say goodbye. I do notice that might say hi to some people after this, but yeah. So effectively, Kat, is there anything more you sort of want to say on this battle itself? Well, and it's goodbye from me, and we'll wait the minute in order to make sure that Twitch doesn't do it badly. But yeah.